So family lesson number 4, I titled it The Heavy Suitcase, and I didn't bring a heavy suitcase, so I kind of violated my rule of having an object lesson, but I brought this, and you're just going to have to use your imagination. Imagine, now this lesson is mostly geared toward younger kids. I've done this in family class, you may remember. But what I would do is I would pack my bag. Don't get a wheeled bag because then they can cheat with the wheels. Pack a bag, a backpack, or a gym bag or something with so many books or bricks or whatever you want to pack it with so that you're sure your kid cannot lift it. That's the goal. But you need to be able to lift it. Otherwise the whole thing breaks down. All right, so you just have to imagine that the bag is so heavy that the kid can't lift it, and I'm going to set it here so it's still in the camera view. And so then I would just ask, hey, have you ever tried to lift something that was too heavy for you? And I know that I have. I'm hoping that each of you has had the experience of lifting something that's too heavy for you. And I would invite one of the kids, then I've got a bag here, see if you can lift this. And then they would, of course, come over, and it's always fun to watch them because they're like, they can't pick up the bag. It's defeat. They can't pick up the bag. And then I would say, well, what can you do if the bag is too heavy? What options do you have? You can unload it. I'm going to take that option away. Got to carry the bag, and it's too heavy for you to carry. You can get help. So, hey, it just so happens that you have a dad, and dad is big enough and strong enough that dad can carry the bag. And kids are like, wow, strong dad, he's awesome. So dad can carry the heavy bag. What can happen to somebody if they try really hard to carry something that's too heavy for them? Get hurt. You can get hurt, right? And kids don't understand hernias, but you can damage your body. You can strain your back. You can tear a muscle. You can get a hernia. You can actually damage yourself by trying to carry something that's too heavy for you. So you've got a dad, you've got parents that can carry heavy stuff for you until you get old enough to carry them on your own. You get older, you get stronger, muscles grow. Someday you'll be able to carry this heavy bag just like dad can. But until then, you got to rely on dad to carry the heavy bag. So then the idea is sometimes there are ideas that are too heavy for young minds and young hearts. And even though I can't put an idea on the table and challenge you to lift it, there's some things that are just too heavy for a young heart. And since the scripture, Proverbs 4:23 says that it is really important that we guard our hearts. And as young people, it's really important for parents to be involved in helping guard your hearts as kids. That's one of the jobs of parents. Just like one of the jobs of parents is to help lift heavy things that the kids are too young and not strong enough to lift, it's parents' job to help guard the kid's heart against things that might be too heavy for their hearts. And so, Colossians 3:20 says that kids who are obedient please the Lord. So the issue here is it's important and pleases the Lord when a child trusts his parent to make decisions about when things are too heavy for their children or not, when ideas are too heavy. So if dad says, we're not going to watch that movie because it's a little too heavy for you guys, then you can trust me that I'm guarding your heart and it is too heavy. Someday you might be older, stronger, better prepared to handle it, but right now it's too heavy for you. You can just trust me. It pleases God when you trust me on that and are obedient to that. It pleases God when I'm exercising the important authority to guard your heart. So just trust Dad when he says that's too heavy. You can just let go of it and move on, and someday you'll be able to come back to it. And that's basically the whole idea of the lesson, is just the exercise in connecting the heaviness, physical heaviness with, Dad knows when something's too heavy for me emotionally, and so I can let it go. And that conversation that we had with our kids when they were young helped give us a language to make it easy to pass over things that were too heavy for the kids. So when things were, they would ask a question. Dad, where do those babies come from? Well, that's a heavy idea. We'll talk about that when you're older, but for now you need to trust Dad to take care of that idea for you. You're like, okay, moving on. Or, whatever was needed, that was a helpful language for us to have kind of established for our kids. So that was a helpful lesson for us. That's Family Night lesson number 4.